Andrew here, and about that getting back in shape. I've spoken at length, I think would be a fair description, on my getting back in shape program and the successes and the reasons. And one of them occurred to me recently, about 30 seconds ago, actually. And the reason it occurred to me is that I went through a bit of a rough patch the last couple of days. Nothing major, just the whipsaws of life. You get tossed around. The flow, you're flotsam and jetsam on the sea of life. And I got tossed in a way that wasn't pleasant. A year ago, this might have derailed me. 6 months ago, it might have derailed me. The last couple of days, I got up, I went to work, I did my job, I put in good work. I had my midterm review. No, that's next month. I had a midterm meeting with my boss to lock down my professional developmental goals for the next year. And he's more ambitious for my career than I am. So I guess I'm doing something right. And that's pretty cool. And this is happening during the flotsam and jetsam and tossed around in the bad times. I maintained a much more even keel through this difficult patch that I went through. Why? Couple of reasons. One is the active reason. Each day I exercise. I read a number of years ago, in one of the great benefits of exercise was it is a mood enhancer and is being used as a prescribed treatment for mild clinical depression. Now, I don't have mild clinical depression. I don't have mild clinical depression. But I found that very interesting because I hadn't admitted it out loud, but I sure shit knew I had depression problems. And when I was reading that, it thought back over the years, and I thought back to the times when I was doing poorly versus the times I was doing well, and I thought back about the most stressful times in my life and what did I do to handle it. And I did have the conversation with my doctor. She asked me, did you ever self-medicate? And I said, not in the way that you think. I never turned to drugs or alcohol. I haven't had a drink since the first Clinton administration, or Chrétien's second majority. Over 26 years. I've struggled with depression for 40. So for 2/3 of the time that I've struggled with depression, I haven't been drinking. I read somewhere, somebody commented, summed up a thought that I've had. He summed it up a little better than I did, because I personalized it. I thought, you know what? I have an addictive type personality, and I'm going to need to be addicted to something, so I better choose something good. And I chose coffee and exercise. And I read somewhere recently somebody saying basically the same thing, but he applied it. He says, everybody's going to have an addiction. Choose yours wisely. And so I think back over the years, and I think back to when I was doing well and when I was doing poorly, and the harder I exercised, the more I challenged myself, the fewer bad episodes I had. Let's return to this past week, these past few days, where I was having a bit of a rough patch. I've spent somewhere between 5 and 6 months exercising every day, getting back in shape. I am doing aerobic exercise. I am doing resistance exercise. I'm mixing up. I'm doing a variety of exercises. I've added in return to things that I used to take great joy in and I let slip. Doing all of these things and all of this exercise, it gives me, okay, I'm having a bad patch. Let's go out and get a good brisk walk. Let's go out and go for a vigorous paddle. You know what? Let's just put a couple 3 miles on the body. Let's go for a run. Let's go for a 8-10 kilometer bike ride, whatever. Go out and do something. Because I'm in the habit, I'm always anxious to go out and do something. So if there's a bad patch coming on, or there's a trough in the bad patch, suit up, go do something. And there's something else that I've been thinking about, and it's similar, it's analogous to what I spoke about in another video, where when's the best time to start your exercise program 30 years ago? Lay that baseline down so that the well runs deep. Dig the well before you're thirsty. And that well runs deep. Well, my reservoir of fitness, the buffer that I've built up through all of this exercise over all of these years, gives me a greater anti-depression immune system, as it were. I've built up my body's ability to combat my emotional, my psychological problems through doing all of this exercise in this past several months of getting back in shape. Has rebuilt some of that reservoir. The well is more full now than it was 6 months ago. So when I need to dip into it, I grab my cup and I dip into it. I have many reasons, told you I've had many reasons for getting back in shape, but that knowledge that being physically fit, being in shape, being able to go out and sweat out the stress and pain is a powerful reason. And having that reservoir that I can go back to that well, it's not dry. And when times are a little tougher, well, I've got a piece of driftwood when I'm on that ocean being tossed around. I got a life preserver. And that all that exercise has acted as one. Doesn't have to be for depression. There are other problems that it can be for. But exercise provides so many benefits. And here is the latest one for me. Thank you very much for watching. That was my time. Now it's your time. And in the meantime, do take care of yourself. I really want you to do so. Take care of yourself. And in the meantime, you'll see me soon.